Welcome to Ultimate Survival Gear. Today, as you guys can see, I have yet again something from my favorite brand, Salomon. Check this out. Let's open up the box, see what we got. Because we have today the all new Salomon Outpulse Mid GTX. Check these out, and let me tell you guys, if you don't have time to watch the whole review, which I hope you do, because you will miss out on quite a lot of details, quite a lot of information if you don't watch the whole thing. But if you don't have time to watch the whole review, let me tell you guys, these are fantastic. I love them. Excellent comfort level, excellent outsole. Obviously, with GTX waterproofing, you can't go wrong. And Salomon, this brand, they know what they're doing whenever it comes to the hiking boots. But if you do have time to watch the whole review, let's get into it. As some of you already know, this review specifically for my Ultimate Survival Boots section. So, we're judging these not by just basic hiking boot standards. No, we're judging this by all versatility, all this ultimate whatever life throws at you while you're wearing these boots. Would they be good at handling all of that stuff, or no? Well, how do we make the judgment? We make the judgment based on 8 different criteria. Let's begin. Criteria number 1, of course, comfort level. And in order to test the comfort level of all the boots and shoes that I review on this channel, I do a 3-mile run and then a 5-mile walk, non-stop, no pauses in between, no breaks, nothing like that. And continue wearing the shoes for the rest of the day, so the total wear time is about 8 hours. Like I said, the comfort level of these is fantastic, and there are of course a few different factors that contribute to the comfort level. Let's start with the first one, the weight. I have my scales hanging out over here, and this is size 10, and I would say this should be somewhere, it seems to me, correct, probably around 15-16 ounce. I would say between 15 and 16 ounce. Let's see if I'm correct. Oh wow! Wow, this is much better than I thought. 14 ounce. This is fantastic. For a mid-size boot, wow. This is really good. Now, to give you kind of numbers for the reference, if you are looking for a good mid-size boot, not the full size, mid-size, I would recommend getting something under 20 ounce. The more under 20 ounce, the lighter. The more over 20 ounce, now you're getting in the heavier category for mid-size. If it's a full-size boot, I would say you can give it about 25 ounce. No more than 25 ounce, because then it gets really heavy, really bulky. This is 14, so this is well under 20 ounce. It's absolutely fantastic weight for a mid-size waterproof boot, because waterproofing always adds a little bit to the weight. But this is not it. There are a few other things that contribute to the comfort level. Of course, the outsole, the flexibility of the outsole. And here, as you can see, it's not flimsy, but at the same time, it has enough flexibility. If you need to run in your hiking boots, hey, whatever. If you're just hiking, you encountered a wild animal and it's chasing you. All right? This is very easy to run in properly without putting stress on your ankles, without putting the stress on your knees. Let's move on to the inner sole. And I'm gonna take it out so you can see exactly what it looks like. Check this out. Now this is their Ortholite. Got some dirt over here. Ortholite, very good inner sole from Ortholite. Now Ortholite, if you're not familiar with their inner soles, basically it's a special inner sole that has that moisture wicking technology that prevents the bacteria from spreading. So obviously on the long hikes, this is very good. My only complaint about this particular inner sole is that it doesn't have any heel pad. It doesn't have any, I mean, it looks like it has arch support, but this is so flimsy, it's not gonna do anything. So your inner sole here really is, in reality, is just flat. All right, so keep that in mind. While when you remove the inner sole, it goes straight into the midsole, so there's no other cushioning, so keep that in mind. Now moving on, we got the padding. Not much padding, decent padding in the shaft. Not much padding in the tongue, as you can see, and going throughout the whole boot, we have a very soft fabric, and then at the front we have this reinforcement here, so it does add some protection. We will talk about the protection just in a little bit. So overall, on the comfort level, very good, but at the same time, there's not much cushioning. So if you prefer more cushioning for your boots, you might probably look around if you like Salomon, that they have some other boots models that have a lot more cushioning than these. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 2, proofing and protection. So proofing wise, like I said, these are Gore-Tex waterproof. Basically, Gore-Tex is a fancy waterproofing technology. It's very lightweight, very breathable, and at the same time quality. As you can see, the tongue here is gusseted, and the gusseting, let me see, is about, let's see, 1, 4, just above 4.5 inches, and then the part of the shaft that is closest to the lowest part of the shaft is about 5 inches. So Salomon did not compromise pretty much any length of the shaft, which is very, very good. Overall, that's really good waterproofing clearance for a hiking boot, mid-size hiking boot for sure. All right, now speaking of the protection, obviously we have a little bit of the reinforcement here at the front on the toe box. We have some outsole rubber going up, which is good on the rocky road, but keep in mind on the top it's still very, very soft, so don't drop anything on the top. Obviously you have some padding in the shaft that gives you some protection, and your heel is reinforced. We will talk about the outsole later, which is fantastic outsole by the way, but we'll talk about it later. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 3, quality and the design features. Now, quality wise, if you guys are not familiar with Salomon brand, absolutely fantastic brand. I love Salomon boots. In fact, my main ultimate survival boot that I have still, I had them for about, what, 2.5 years now, maybe 3 years. I think probably even longer than that. Almost 4 years. Wow, really, almost 4 years I had them. Is Salomon X Ultra 3 Mid GTX. I absolutely love them. Fantastic comfort, fantastic waterproofing, fantastic protection, and the outsole. They know what they're doing. So the reason why I'm saying that is because quality-wise, Salomon, they're one of the best whenever it comes to the outdoor stuff. Now, whenever it comes to the design features here, as usually I talk about the lacing system, as you can see, lacing system here is very basic. It's the flat. Honestly, I'm not a fan of these flimsy flat strings, but they are implemented here to save on weight, and it definitely shows. Now we have 5 pairs of closed hooks, just fabric, nothing crazy, and then we have 1 pair of open hooks, which unfortunately do not have that locking mechanism that usually Salomon implements in their boots. In the newer models, for some reason they got rid of it. That's that locking mechanism in the hooks. I really used to like that, but now it's really just a regular hook. Still nice to have an open hook for your hiking situations. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 4. Outsole, traction and stability. So whenever I do my run and my walk, I do it on a variety of surfaces, starting with older asphalt and the newer tarmac, dry sand, dry grass, wet grass, rocky road, some concrete, some marble, tile, trail surface, just everything, as much stuff as I can find. Fantastic outsole, absolutely fantastic. It's very high quality rubber. This is their Conta Grip rubber from Salomon. The design is excellent. As you can see, these grooves are very aggressive, but at the same time, overall, it's really, really flat. So you can wear this outsole literally on anything and still get enough grip. And at the same time, because it's so overall flat pattern, it handles very well on sandy surfaces. You don't dig into the mud. Nothing gets stuck. No rocks get stuck in between. Really, really good stuff. Okay, so done with that. Let's move on to the criteria number 5, temperature. Obviously pointless to talk about the winter or cold temperatures because these are not winter boots. They're not insulated. The outsole really is not, I mean, it will be fine on the snow. On the ice is going to be slippery, just like literally everything else except, for example, some ice boots with some metal spikes, but pointless to talk about winter. Can you get away with some cold temperatures? Absolutely. If you implement some insulated socks, you can, because these are waterproof. After all, these are mid-size, so you will be fine. But keep that in mind, these are more 3-season boots, and in the hot summer days, they are very nice and very breathable. So that GTX waterproofing definitely does add to the breathability, because usually if you have experience with some waterproof hiking boots, that waterproofing usually takes away from the breathability. Not GTX. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 6, sizing. These are true to the size, although I have to mention the newer models of Salomon, they run for some reason a little bit bigger than their previous models. Not bigger than by much than usual, but bigger than the previous models. So if you were getting the previous models was a half a size bigger to have a little bit of extra space in the toe box, the newer models, if you get your size, you most likely gonna have a little bit of extra space, which is perfectly enough. So keep that in mind. Okay, let's move on to the criteria number 7, balance of application. So if this really were your not just hiking boots, but ultimate survival boots, would they be good for your survival? I think of the newer Salomon boots, this is probably one of my top 5 favorite. Why? Because it's a good hybrid between being a hiking boot and at the same time kind of a cool looking city shoe, sneaker, whatever you want to call it, tall sneaker that is also fantastic in whenever it comes to the traction and stability, because this outsole will handle great on anything. And at the same time, the looks of it, which usually, you know guys, I don't discuss the looks because it's really personal preference, but these look very, very unintimidating. All right, so you can wear them pretty much anywhere you want and you're not gonna look weird like you're going on a backpacking trip for a year or something like that, which is the case with a lot of Salomon boots out there. Trust me, there's a lot of Salomon boots out there. They look like you really are, you know, post-apocalyptic look. Okay, but these definitely are not. These just look like your regular sneakers. So that's definitely a huge plus because you can wear them around, no problems, and they're always, you know, on you. So, you know, survival situation, you don't know when it happens, and with these you are most of the times prepared. So overall, really, really good stuff. Let's move on to the very last criterion. One thing kind of for me to complain about is criterion number 8, the price. Currently the price is pretty extreme, almost $200. The link for Amazon, by the way, is in the description below. $198.90. Okay, this is definitely on the pricier side, and even from Salomon you can find some very, very good boots, just like those Salomon X Ultra 3 Mid GTX. You can find them for around $160 if you can find them. It's hard to find them now, but if you can find them, they're around 160 bucks, and they're definitely much better than these. Not that these are bad, it's just those are so much superior and they're cheaper. So I understand this is a new model, and new models, they usually, you know, they are on the pricier side, then they kind of come down a little bit in price. But is it fair price? With GTX waterproofing, yes, I would say if it was around $180, $175, I would say a fair price. But again, there's a lot of competition in that price range, even from the same Salomon. So look around. I have plenty of reviews on this channel. Check them out and see, maybe you can find something that suits you even better. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think about this boot? What do you think about this review? If you have any requests for reviews, drop them in the comments below and I'll be happy to address them. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was Ultimate Survival Gear. I'll see you guys in the next video.